Hi guys, I'm Vatsal Gutka from India and I produce my music on FL Studio. Those people who are already following my channel know about my music, and those who are here for the first time, well, I hope I can give you some knowledge that you can take and use to create your own music. First thing first, this is my first voiceover video. I mean, all the videos that I've produced previously have been just a tutorial with subtitles and explanation, very short ones, about 3 minutes or 4 minutes. It's basically to show the arrangement, the patterns that I use, and I give the FLPs to the people. So what I figured out is that there are some people who have a bit of knowledge and know how to create songs from the FLPs that I send. What happens is that there are many people out there who have just started using FL Studio maybe 6 months or a year back, and it doesn't help them that much, and they like my tracks but they are not able to understand the way I'm creating it, the way I'm using the patterns and chords and bass patterns. So I've tried to simplify my process here. I've tried to give a more detailed explanation in the video so that you guys can understand it much better. And this is my first voiceover, so pardon me if I make some mistakes while pronunciation or speaking, as I don't have so much of experience. I'm not a typical YouTuber who does the voiceover over the videos. So let's not consume more time and get started. So before I go into the video directly, I'll give you some brief about how I started using FL Studio. It is very essential for you guys to understand how I came up with creating studios, how I ended up with this FL Studio software, and how my journey has been so far. So I started using FL Studio about 4 years back, and this was the first video that Avicii had posted. It was I think it was an interview of Avicii, which is still available online from Future Studio. He actually had described one of his song and showed us the pattern of composing. So it just blew my mind, and I was like, wow, what is this? I need to learn this. I need to master this and get my music out there. So before that, I am a keyboard artist. I've been playing keyboard since I was 7 years old, but I had a knack of creating music. So, and that has landed me to FL Studio, which I learned and I mastered myself. So I haven't taken any formal coaching for FL Studio. I haven't done any course or music production. Everything I've learned everything as you guys. I've watched all the videos on YouTube, tutorials from different DJs, producers, learn my stuff and compose my music. So it's not that difficult, I'm telling you guys. It is very easy, and if you're focused, if you give the time that is required, you can definitely make an amazing songs, remixes on FL Studio. And I'm a living example of that. I mean, people who like my music, and you guys think I might be a professional, but I'm not. I've just started using this 4 years back, and this is how far I've got with this. So there's one question people had asked me regarding who is your favorite music producer. My inspiration has been Avicii. Avicii is the best music producer. We have lost last year, like 4 or 5 months back, but he has been my inspiration. I mean, I wouldn't have been using the software if it wasn't for him. So by this tutorial, I aim to create some good content for you guys, so that hopefully you can understand and learn from that. So let's get into the videos. So I shall cover certain topics. I have decided that I will give you a brief that what I'm going to cover in this video. So first thing would be I'm taking a song which I have already posted on my tutorial channel, which is an amazing song, Attention, by Puth, and I love this song and I had to come up with a remix, and this has been a hit. My remix has been a hit. People have loved it, people have liked it, and I've got a lot of feedback from you guys, so thank you so much for all of that. So I shall cover all the chord patterns, bass patterns, and the sub bass patterns that I've used, I'm not covering mastering in this channel, in this video, because then it becomes too long, and then it's too much of a content. I think I should restrict it to certain things that when we will use mastering in the next video. I will explain you each section, like my pre-build section, drop section, my start of the music, and then probably how gradually the track builds up. So let's get this thing rolling. All right. So let's focus on the first section here. So this is my start of the track. So I've kept a very simple start for this track. I didn't want to blow up something fancy. So I have a kick pattern, a bass pattern, and a chord pattern, which is basically an arpeggio pattern just to start with. So let us just play this kick pattern. It's kick 3. It's nothing, it's a simple kick. So I use Vengeance sample for kicks. It's an amazing pack, guys. If you can buy the sound packs of Vengeance, that would be really cool. It has amazing effects patterns and loops and many different things. You guys will love that. The second is a bass pattern. So let's just roll with this bass pattern. Bass 2. So this is a very simple bass pattern, nothing too fancy, just for the start of the project. It gives more kind of a groove bass, future bass kind of a feeling. So I must tell you one thing, guys, that I'm not a technical person. Okay, I don't know the few terms and whether it's future bass or house music and then techno, and then there are many terms, I mean, I don't focus on that. I focus on creating music. I'm not a technical guy. I'm not a sound engineer. I don't know some specific terms that you use. I just use whatever is convenient for me and what I can understand. At the end of the day, I'm a music producer, right? So I go with my feeling and the way I understand my tracks. It's just easier for me, not like difficult terms that other guys use. No, that doesn't work for me. I try to keep it simple. So there's one chord pattern. So it is more like a tom pattern. I'll just mention the name. I'll get back to you with that. So nothing too fancy, just a normal chord pattern. So if you guys want to know, this tom pattern is from the plugin called Spire. So there are certain plugins that I'm using. My favorite plugins are Spire, Nexus, Silent, Massive, and then like these are my favorite ones. Serum, yeah, of course, Serum. So these are like favorite plugins that I use most of the tracks. I'm very accustomed to that, and I love the sound of it. So yeah, that's what it is. So let's just get the track rolling and hear everything from the start.
Run around,
there's then one down sweep here.
Cause you knew that I'd call you up. You would go around every party in LA. Cause you knew that I'd be at one.
So you can see there is FX patterns here, FX1, FX2. So I'm not going in detail of this FX patterns right now. Only thing I would tell you is that basically it's a down sweep and reverse sweep, then an impact. So if you guys already know what is an FX patterns, I'm pretty sure you understand this. If you don't know, I will definitely elaborate in my upcoming videos. So don't worry about it. Yeah. So let's take the next section here. So next section is basically creating the space. So what I have a concept before going for a pre-built up or a drop, I like to create a space when people feel that emotional engagement, you connect with the emotional, the depth of the song, having a space and you feel the presence of the song, that is the whole idea to create. So all my patterns use our complete pattern, doesn't have a staccatos or breakup. It's a complete pattern, you would say. And the chords that I use are like chords or strings and all, which has prolongation, gives more space to the song. And I use a lot of effects patterns here. See, if you can see, there's an impact, then there's a sweep, then there's a reverse sweep, impact. So basically it creates a lot of space, you have a lot of emotions. Basically it creates a lot of emotion before the build up. So that's the whole idea. So let's look at the bass pattern here. So you see, there is no breaks. It's a complete note. Only the part maybe 3 to 4 you can see there's a break. That's it, to give the feeling of the song. That's all. So this is basically a sub bass which I've used from Nexus. So if you have Nexus plugin, you can go to bass, and then there's a fat bass. So you can use that. Just made a tweaks. So I usually play with the presets. I don't create my own sound. I mean, if I have a certain sound in my mind before I make it, but then sometimes I always find in presets I have to tweak them and maybe make it a little more unique for myself. But then presets usually do the case. I don't like to create a complete new preset, usually not. But then sometimes if I don't find it, then I spend time and create a pattern, but usually not. So let's create a look at the chord pattern. So chord pattern is something like this. You can see so I hope you guys heard that this chord pattern had a chorus. It has a white noise which goes in the background. It creates a lot of space in the background, a continuous pattern. So once you hear it, this section, you will understand what I'm trying to talk when I'm talking about creating the space. So let's just hear this section itself.
I know the dress is coming, I feel regret. You got me thinking about when you were mine. And now I'm all up on what you expect. You're not coming home with me tonight. You just wanna
So I hope it's clear till now. So let's take the next section. Next section is this one. Alright. So this is what I called is a pre-built up section. It's just before the drop starts. It's a pre-built up. So now it's not like a house music wherein you have snare built up and all. So usually a pre-built up section here is indication, and understanding that drop is coming nearby, drop is approaching, and so that you are mentally prepared that a drop is coming. That gives the idea. So the whole idea of creating this section is that you get the feeling you're switching from an emotional bass to a high lifting drop that's on the way. So how I do that, I have a kick pattern here. So let's play the kick pattern. Let's look at the kick pattern. It's very simple. Again, the kick pattern is Vengeance. Nothing more fancy, similar as that one. So I'll just go ahead with this. So I'll look at the bass pattern here. Bass 2. So it is again the similar bass pattern. So basically, pre-built up section is somewhere I use the existing patterns that I've made earlier and then try to build upon it. So you put in, build it, and make it, make it a complete drop, like a complete full song. So that's the whole idea. Let's listen to a chord pattern. I think we have changed a bit in chord pattern here. We have a different chord pattern. It's chord pattern 1, 2. So let me just play that pattern for you guys. So you understand, if you can hear from the chord pattern. Now we are going to more like a drop kind of thing where people will be very much engaged. So one amazing thing that I'm going to share with you guys, I don't know how many people already know this, but if you guys don't know and if you haven't used this, so I'll explain you guys. So white noise, let me just show you what white noise is basically. White noise is nothing but background noise. It plays like this. What it does is, how we get it? So what the idea behind this is to create the space in the song. It is not something which is very audible, but it creates a lot of space in the background. It goes in the background. It gives a dimension to the song. It gives a depth to the song. So usually I used white noise from the pre-build-up section till the drop section. I never use it in the start of the track. I always use it from the pre-build-up section. I learned this technique from Axwell of Swedish House Mafia. He uses all of this technique in his tracks. I've learned, I've seen his videos on YouTube, and he uses this thing and he mentions this multiple times. So I've learned this, and then sometimes I use sidechain also. So sidechain gives that bouncy feeling to the track. So this is an amazing idea. If you guys haven't used this earlier, you definitely should use this in your tracks, upcoming tracks. This creates a lot of presence to the song and gives a completely new feeling to the song. So let me just play this section and you will understand what I'm trying to say.
You don't want my heart. Maybe you just hate the thought of me with someone new. Yeah, you just want attention. I knew from the start. You're just making sure I'm never getting over you. Oh.
So this section is my built-up section. So I've made this nomenclature according to me. So there will be guys, oh, he doesn't understand. This section is called that. This section is not called that. It's a pre-drop and post-drop. So there are many terms to call it. But at the end of the day, we are using music, right? So you must understand. You should be clear what you are producing. So this is my nomenclature of making the music. So that's why I have named these sections as per my convenience. Okay. So here we have a built-up section. So it does nothing but it adds to the pre-built-up section. So we are adding a kick pattern. We have a kick pattern here, which will have a claps or snares into it. I think, yeah. So it has a claps. So let me play this kick pattern. So built-up section is nothing but the addition of certain effects and certain sounds in drums and kicks that gives it more drop feeling, taking you towards the drop. It is a transition between the pre-build-up and the drop section. So again, we'll have a same bass pattern as previously. Our chord pattern is 1, so we have a little bit change in chord pattern. Let me just play this chord pattern here. So I forgot to show you guys what are the synths that I've used for this. So pluck pattern is basically I've used from Spire. Again, so if you have Spire, you get different sound banks you can purchase and get different pluck patterns from it. So this is that, and distortion and chord pattern is again from Spire. So I use a Spire a lot. I mean, Spire is an amazing sound. It has got a lot of combinations. I really love it. So that's the chord pattern here. So I will introduce one lead pattern here. See, as I told you, it's built up. So built up is basically giving you this lead pattern will give you the idea how the drop is going to be. Give a bit of the glimpse of it. Let me play this lead pattern for you. Lead pattern. So it basically gives the idea how the drop is going to be, lead of the drop is going to be. So it just prepares you for that. So I've added this section. So let me play this section and you understand what a built-up section is.
Run around, throwing that dirt all on my name. 'Cause you knew that I'd call you up. Baby, another way, right here what you want. Whoa.
So now I'll go to the most interesting part and probably what you guys have been waiting for, the drop section. So drop is the way I create a drop, or basically a drop is a signature of each musician. If you listen to a drop from Avicii's track, you know that this drop is coming from Avicii. You have that subconscious feeling who the creator of the drop is. If you listen to Alan Walker drop, you know that this drop was created by Alan Walker. If you listen to Kygo tracks, you know that this drop was created by. So drop is basically drop is the identity of a track. Drop is something gives the signature identity to the track of the composer. So that is where a composer puts his signature of the track, because there may be many players using the same genre, but we need to know who has created this track and he has a signature. So people like that track, people associate with that kind of a drop, and that gives a signature to it. So idea of creating my drop here. So let me go. We have a kick pattern 2 here, kick 2. So let's just listen what that pattern is. It has nothing. It has just one ride, which I used again from the Vengeance, and then a normal kick drum. I have used a rush loop here. So rush loop I'll play while I'm playing this pattern section completely. So I have added that rush loop. It doesn't have a kick in it. It's just a normal cymbals and rides and crashes, open and close hits. That is the thing. And we have a bass 2 pattern. We have a chord pattern here, which is similar to the one. So now I've introduced the lead. So lead 1 was the introduction to the drop lead. Now we have a proper lead. So let me just play a proper lead for you guys after I play the section. So you'll understand how the lead is changing altogether the track. So let me play this section and then I will focus on the lead patterns and how I've created it and what are the notes for that. Okay. So let me play this. I'm sorry guys, my system is not able to take too much of load. We have multiple apps running in the background, so there's a reason we have a little bit delay. I hope you guys understand, and I don't have a professional home studio. I cannot afford it now. I manage with whatever I have. So let me just play a lead pattern for you that I've created here. Lead pattern 1. Is it lead pattern 1? Yeah, lead pattern 1. So these are the notes for it, and if you guys want to take a note of it, definitely have it. So many people have commented on my tutorial video on the report that what is this lead pattern, how did I create this pattern, and how did I came with the combination. So here is the secret, guys. What you guys have been waiting for such a long time, I will disclose what is the synth that I've used and how I've created this pattern. So here we go. So as I mentioned, I saved best for the last. Serum is one of my favorite plugins. Favorite of the favorite plugins. It's like amazing plugin is Serum. The sound quality, the presets, the sound it has, it's unmatchable. It's too good. So this is a preset from Serum. If you guys have Serum, you can download this bank from the Serum's website. It is lead 6 C4 lead. So basically it's a preset. I have just made some tweaks. I've added sub noise, I've added sub bass, and I've made a few oscillating changes according to my requirement. I can get in depth in the next video. I'm not going too much in depth of it. So this is the basic plugin behind creating that amazing lead of the drop. So if you guys want to experiment with that lead using this sound pack, you are way to go. Good to go ahead now, because now you guys know how it has been done. So guys, so this was the first section of the track, and this is the second section, which is pretty much same thing as the first section with little tweaks and all. So usually my tracks are in two phases, where I have a drop which comes twice. So it has again simple built up, pre-built up, built up, and a drop section. So the idea remains same for the second section as well. So I hope I've covered that in this video for you guys, and I hope this has been a little useful video. This is my first video, so I'm definitely going to improvise and learn more tricks of the trade for doing the voiceovers, but and so my next video would be much better than this one. I'll definitely love you guys to give me feedback. How did you like my video? What all probably I could have included? What did you guys want to know about the track which I couldn't cover in this video? And how did I make it? I mean, it will be really helpful. My idea is to create such tutorial videos for the guys who are producing the music and share my knowledge with you guys. So in whichever way I can, I will be really happy to do it. I need a feedback from you guys. A feedback from you would be definitely add on to my next video, and I'll help you to learn more from my videos. So this is the end of it. I hope you guys love my videos, and please subscribe to my channel, share my music. I'm not a professional musician, so I want your guys' support to let my music out there. People know the way I'm creating tracks. If you guys like my tracks, you can follow me. You can follow me on YouTube. You can subscribe to my channel, and you can definitely mail me your queries and your doubts that you have. I'll try to answer most of them, even in the comment section or in my email ID that you mentioned on my YouTube channel. For now, I'm signing off. I hope you guys had a good time with me. Thank you guys. Bye bye. Take care.